they're reaching for the next branch, they actually reach for a different branch and they go and they grab their own leg. That happens occasionally because they do have really poor eyesight. But the most often thing that causes them to fall is if something has startled them and they're trying to get to the end of the branch. If that presses it to the mat, or if it's a jaguar or an ocelot or something that's going out there on the branch after them, they end up both falling out of the tree because the branch breaks. That's kind of the best case scenario for the sloth, because the sloth is almost definitely going to survive that fall. The cat's going to try to land on all fours and probably break all fours, because they can survive a fall from up to 100 feet in the air. So, kind of beneficial for the sloth there. Their first line of defense is to just get away, get to the end of the branch. And if they go all the way out there and the branch is still supporting both of their weight, they can use their claws to kind of swipe at them and try to deter them like that. And then their teeth, they do have 4 really sharp canines. Their molars are actually all pointed as well. They're not flat like ours are. They actually use those to grind up the leaves that they eat instead of like chomping them like we would. A lot more efficient to grind them up with the teeth they have. So they can use their teeth. And if you were to try to have a similar experience as this with a wild sloth, it would essentially be the difference between holding a house cat and a feral cat. You're probably going to walk away from that experience looking quite different if the teeth are left intact. Oftentimes what happens down there is that that's with essentially a house cat, you're going to walk away from intact. What happens, natives in the area see sloths as a source of income. They'll go out and take a young sloth, get all that moss and algae off of them, pull their teeth, and then set them in exhibit to and the people don't really, the natives don't perceive it like that. They try to show it like, oh, they've been my pet for years, or he just hangs out in this tree in my yard all by himself, he never leaves. And a lot of people don't really put much thought behind it, and they'll support something like that. So our goal with having sloth encounters here and the way that we do things with the sloths that have been born and raised in captivity, that they would get their sloth fix here and get enough information about those practices so that if they do book a cruise to go down there, they're not fooled by the practices they don't want down there.
So how do those ones not die? They don't have a moth factory, or they don't.
The captive sloths?
Yeah, ones with
So they don't. So that's the thing, that if they do that, they remove all of that moss and algae. It's an entire ecosystem that lives on their backs in the wild, and they rely on that because the temperature drops at night. Some of that bacteria colony is wiped out, and if they don't have those moths living on them, they can't really replenish that stock. So it takes a while to get that, the moths back up, and some sloths may not even recover from that. Most of the time, the Sloth Conservancy Agency and some of those reliable websites that are information about sloth, they say that after an event like that, where they have had all of that scrubbed off of them, teeth pulled, everything, their life expectancy is about 2 or 3 weeks. So they don't really recover from that. They do still have those molars, but the front canines, they don't have a way to protect themselves or anything like that.
So basically going out and killing a sloth a month.
Yeah.
Have people come and be like, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they will be dead.
Yeah.
It's really sick.
Yeah. And sometimes too, some people will tell me about an experience that they went down. I've held a sloth before. It was down in Costa Rica. It was so sweet. Like, it was just holding on to me. And a lot of situations like that, where the sloths have not really been fighting back, where they've actually been holding on to the person, is where it's gotten to the point where the sloth has been used so many times and is so run down that it just doesn't have the capability to fight anymore. And they, obviously doesn't look like that. They're not thinking, oh, the sloth is dying as I'm holding it, but that's, kind of what's going on there.
So I don't want to go to Costa Rica.
I want to go to Costa Rica and do a tour where you can go out and have the possibility of seeing the sloths, but there are places down there that advertise it as 100% guaranteed to see sloths in the wild, and those places have placed those sloths in certain trees.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems so chill, unfortunately. I think half of what I think the sloth is their spirit.
Yeah.
On an app.
That's the most common thing I I get, your job is the most amazing job in the world, and my spirit animal is a sloth all the time. Most people, that's what they say.
I don't think your job is the most amazing job in the world because you have to deal with the other things out there. If it was just here with the babies, you have to go.
Well, for the most
share
part,
that guy.
yeah. For the most part, I do the sloth. I'm the sloth keeper, so I stay in here and do all of the encounters here and everything. But since I'm wanting to go to vet school and I have a good relationship with the vet that comes down here, I'm also track of keeping all of the vet records and everything. But animal rise, I specialize in the sloths. So.
Not that gig.
But we did start about 5 minutes early, so it is our time is up here. So we won't have to do anything. He'll just come on to me.
Is it hard when you go home at night? Not really have days off.
Not really.
You're like, I haven't seen him in 3 days. You're not like, oh.
No, I don't really do too bad separation anxiety from it. I'm dating the owner's son, so I'm here even on my off days.
Well, that does work out. Oh, is that a mom?
It's not the mom. We don't breed here, but both Dash and Zoe, that sloth there, came from the same breeder. So they were raised in a very similar way. They both went through that ambassador program. And so she was raised in the same way. We get to hold her as well. So we'll sanitize our hands one more time. And did you guys say you had another encounter today?
It's not until 4 o'clock.
Okay. Which one was it? Yeah. It'll be down here.
You may get the big one from the pavilion.
Yeah, I gotta look and see. Is it supposed to be 1, 2? Even though I don't know the names are.